It's DanPatlansky, and I'm gonna do a quick demo on the Mathis Audio ODTexasTone pedal that I've recently got my hands on. Absolutely fantastic pedal, one of the best finds I've come across in recent years. One of the most musical overdrives I've heard. It can be an always-on pedal, it can just be a regular overdrive pedal. It is absolutely remarkable. Okay, so let's run through the controls on the TexasTone, right? So as you can hear from that video there, you know, it makes quite a difference in the tone. I've got my amp set incredibly soft in my small studio, not to bother the neighbors. And you can hear it's a little bit sterile sounding, right? So as soon as I put it on, it gives me a very natural, like tube breakup, supernatural, like it's an amp cranked. It gives me that beautiful top end, perfect amount of bass. So if we look at the tone controls, and this is how I understand it, your level and your gain is pretty much exactly like, you know, any other pedal. Your levels, you know, I'm matching units, my clean sound here, and the gain, as I mentioned, very, very amp-like, turned up. So it's super low gain in a sense, so you could use this pedal as an always-on pedal, no problems, just by maybe bringing the gain down a little bit. Then we go to the bottom row here, and this is where things really get interesting and unique. This is why I love this pedal so much. You've got a treble control over there, and the way I understand it is the treble control, yeah, it adds treble, the higher you kind of turn it, and you'll see mine is on about 9 o'clock there, but it kind of sounds to me like it is cutting very ice pick like frequencies out of out of the signal, which means you can get a nice bright glassy sound without having that ice picky tone, you know, that's synonymous with strats and bright amps and bright speakers. It really just dials just those frequencies out. Then the next control I love, the one that says TT underneath it, which I assume stands for TexasTone. This is designed to add a very particular frequency in the top end range that is synonymous with old JBL 15-inch speakers that guys like Stevie used to use in their vibroverbs. And it adds, I can't tell you what the frequencies are, but you can see mine's cranked to about 3 o'clock. I just love what it does. It adds this beautiful glassiness, and with having the treble control a little bit lower, you're getting rid of all those unpleasant, harsh, brittle kind of tones. So I absolutely love that. Then on the, all the way on this side is a bass control, and I'm kind of using it just to match my guitar to the amp, right? So I've got these Honeybee amps. They've got a lot of bottom end on them. I've got the EVM 12L vintage speakers, also got a lot of bottom end on them. So I'm kind of running it at about 11 o'clock. But this will change depending on the guitar you're using, the amp you're using, and is just fantastic to tailor your sound to a particular room or particular stage, particular venue. So this is great. So let's kind of mess around real quickly with the gain control. So this is where I've got it set for, so it's kind of breaking up quite nicely, like a crank vibroverb, but my amp is really, really low. So if I take that down, say at about 10 o'clock, still getting slight breakup. And if I crank it quite high, maybe even to max, you'll hear, you can hear how low gain that is, man. I mean, that is the gain maxed out, and it just kind of sounds like just a really cranked amp. And that's kind of what it sounds like when I play with it live, is because my amp is a lot louder and it's driving a little bit more naturally. But, live I tend to have it somewhere between 11 or 1, depending on the room and how I'm kind of feeling. So you can hear it's a very low gain pedal, but a very natural, transparent overdrive sound that is just usable in any kind of position. Right, so let's mess with this treble control here. So if I take it to about halfway, I don't know if that's coming across on the video, but it's all of a sudden I've got that ice picker starting to kind of rear its ugly face. And then, in the past, you'd have to kind of make a plan and dial back treble somewhere and try and find that. Where if I take it full, or I mean not full, but a little bit higher, you can hear, there you can really hear that ice pick on those very, very harsh frequencies you don't like. So if I take it back to where I had it again, you'll hear it's still got all the top end in the world without the ice pick. Right, let's look at the Texas tone. So if I take that all the way off, it gets really, really dark. A little bit more dull now. It's still a very usable sound. Let's take it up a little bit. I hope this is coming through in the video, and all the way up, it's still very usable. So these two controls really, really work fantastically well together. I love the frequency that the Texas tone kind of delivers, and I love that I can cut that high top end. So let's look at the bass control quick. So bass off. Still a very, very usable sound. It's not like it's super thin. It's still great. Let me take it to where I kind of normally have it, around about halfway. Yeah, it's just a little bit of meat and body to the sound, right? And if I take it super high, it gets a little bit too bassy for my taste. But for certain tones, it could be absolutely beautiful. So this I really find helps. Well, this whole bottom row helps almost just to, it's almost like a mastering tool for your guitar sound, I find. When you're kind of setting up the pedal for the room, the venue, the gig in particular. But it's an absolute great kind of sound. Now the level, there is so much boost available there. All I'm doing at the moment is trying to match my bypass sound with the pedal on. Now that's perceived a little bit louder because there's a little bit more top end and those special frequencies coming out. So all in all, this is just like one of the coolest pedals I've tried in a very, very long time, and since I've got it, it's remained on my board, with my other stuff, and it works great in conjunction with, my Honeybee clean drive, the Kingtone Soloist you see in picture there. It really is a fantastic pedal as a drive or as an always-on pedal.